What is going on, you guys? I'm back with another video. Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Retro G1 Wheelie. So before we get to the figure, let's go over the blister card. It's the Retro Transformers Generation 1 artwork. A nice shot here of Wheelie, robot mode, vehicle mode. Notice again, it is the toy, the actual toy from this set. That is the actual G1 Wheelie art from 40 years ago. On the back of the box, you have tech specs, bio, pause if you want to read it, and the Season 2 toy art again. So, that is it. In the box, you do get Wheelie's slingshot, and you get Wheelie. Bring this back down. Yep. So here we have G1 Toy Wheelie. I was not going to get this version of the mold. I was really contemplating, do I really need a deluxe version of Wheelie? But I wanted to experience the mold, so I got it. Outside of one problem I'm noticing, he's pretty good. So this version is done in his toy colors, obviously. The nice normal orange, the yellow orange, the light gray, the dark gray, all across the figure. But overall, the car itself looks really good, and I can picture this perfectly in 86 colors. Place all of this light orange with the peachy orange of the cartoon with some more gray. Yeah, the slingshot can store right here on this tab. If it can get in my hand, like so. So now you can drive around and do that, or you can slingshot stuff from the back. I don't know how that would work in car mode, but I don't know. I don't know why Wheelie needed a new figure, but I think this is pretty good. So, for comparison, let's bring in some other bots. Before I get to the Wheelie comparison, here he is with the SS86 Deluxe RC. So you can see how he scales with a Deluxe. His vehicle mode is so much bigger than hers. Here he is with the DNA Design version of Wheelie that came with the 86 Grimlock upgrade kit. You can see how they look. DNA's Wheelie is a pretty good Wheelie. Like, if you didn't own 86 Wheelie, this is a pretty darn good attempt. Here he is with Core Class Spike. Just because this is also what I want to use for Daniel if I can get my hands on another Spike. And here he is with Core Class 86 Wheelie. Now, for what Core Class did, this is still really good, outside of Visible Hand Syndrome. But I think the Deluxe does this better than the original Core Class. The size of this figure is a lot better, but you get a lot more with the Deluxe. Even though a lot of the engineering is the same. So, and then let's bring in the DNA Wheelie again. So, the tale of many versions of G1 Wheelie. So, there's that. So now, we're going to go to robot mode. Alright, so here we are with robot mode. And, I don't know. I knew going into this figure that the toy face was definitely going to be awkward. Like, really awkward. So, let's start there with the toy face. The sculpt looks good. It's just, the toy face is weird because on the box, this where is it? The flap that sits right here over his head in vehicle mode. This the canopy right here. That's his part of his head in robot mode. So you have it here molded onto his head to make his head look smaller. It just looks weird. That's the thing I've always found weird about G1 Wheelie. But otherwise, the sculpt of the figure looks good. I just don't like this head. But that's what you get with the toy version. And then I will cover my major nitpick in a little bit. Oops. Ignore that. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint. Can do a full 360. Arms can do a full 360. They can go in and out. You do have a bicep rotation, elbow bend, wrist rotation. You do have a waist, and due to transformation, you have dislocating hips or torso. You have slight ab crunch, like really slight. Legs can go forward, they can go back, they can go in and out. Thigh rotation, knee bend, and ankle tilt, and downward moving toes due to transformation. So Wheelie can get into some decent poses if you want. Now we're going to take his slingshot. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I found it. You can plug his slingshot into his hand. So he can, let's see if I can do this. Not a perfect slingshot pose, but kind of do it. Kind of. Sort of. Not really. But you can give him a slingshot. If you don't want him to hold it, there is a tab here. You can plug it in right there. You got his slingshot stored on his back. Or just pop it back here in his back. But we're going to give the little annoyance his slingshot. Now, for comparison. Alright, so we're going to start off with the Deluxe Class 86 RC. And you can kind of already see the problem with the scale. He's the same size as all the current Deluxe Mini-Bots that we've had so far. Gears, Windcharger, Brawn, those scaled figures. And Wheelie is supposed to be a small dude. Like, so, there she is. Here he is with the DNA version of Wheelie. You can see how they look together. It's not fair to compare third-party version to the Hasbro versions. It's just third-party can always do stuff better. But there's that. For Spike Daniel comparison, here he is with the Core Class 86 Spike. And that looks good. Not great, but good. And then finally, here he is with the Core Class 86 version of Wheelie. Now, it is definitely choose what you want for scale. Again, bring back in RC. There were episodes where Wheelie was this small to everybody else, but there were episodes where Wheelie was bigger. That's going to be the Generation 1 cartoon effect in effect. Wheelie, the scale bounced all over the place with these guys. It's just, do you want a Wheelie that is nice and small? Or do you want a Wheelie that's the size of everything else that you've currently got in your collection? That's how this is gonna end up back now. And the same thing goes for the next comparison here. Bring in 86 Grimlock. Yeah, this is about to break the review frame. But you bring in 86 Grim here. don't mind the fact that my Grimlock can't stand with his hips forward. If you want a good scale, are you going to go 86 core or the new mold? Because either way, it's not bad. He definitely can't do any of the sitting poses that the core class can do. The core class scales better for shots with Grimlock. That's just how it is. So, but you had to pick and choose. I don't know. I like the core class wheelie. I'm pretty sure I said it before in my 86 wheelie review, but this is a good little budget $10 wheelie, or whatever he cost then. This is good and scale accurate for the most part. This is a good figure too, but the size will kind of heck, if you want this figure would kind of work in a masterpiece collection, kind of. But it's all about your preference of scale for the cartoon. Mind you, in my collection, Wheelie sits with the 86 movie characters. So, I don't know where I want him inside. I'm still back and forthing with this. There are plenty of G1 Wheelie options out there for if you want a good scale version of the character. This will make it break my decision once we see this mold in the 86 colors and with this head sculpt. So, yeah. Overall, though, I think Wheelie is still a pretty darn good figure. Despite the size problem I've got with the figure, I still think Retro Wheelie is a good figure. He doesn't scale the greatest with everything. Well, depending on what your preference is for your collection. Me, personally, I think he works fine, especially if you put him next to like the likes of Devastation Bumblebee or the Season 3 mini-bots. I give this guy a solid 8 out of 10. If you are a person who likes the retro G1 figures that have come out so far, definitely pick him up. If you don't want him, don't pick him up. I'm not telling you how to do your hobbying. So, with that being said, this has been the review for the Transformers Retro G1 Deluxe Wheelie. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys later.